The NRA's flagship publication, the American Rifleman, has come out with their top 10 gun movies of all time. So they've put together a list of movies. Some of them I'm familiar with, some not. Some of them are blockbusters. And we're gonna talk about that and why some of them are on the list and some of them aren't. But it's interesting because we have this news coming out about the NRA and putting together this list. And for once, it seems like there's no in for a liberal to criticize the NRA. There's really nothing negative to say about them, unless hypothetically they had recently come out and said something terrible about Hollywood's influence on violence in this country. Can we find something like that, maybe?
There exists in this country, sadly, a callous, corrupt, and corrupting shadow industry that sells and stows violence against its own people. I mean, we have blood-soaked films out there like American Psycho, Natural Born Killers, that are aired like propaganda loops on splatter days. And then they all have the nerve to call it entertainment. But is that what it really is? Isn't fantasizing about killing people as a way to get your kicks really the filthiest form of pornography?
Oops.
That's awesome. Now, they didn't come up with their 10 best gun movies before that speech. They came up with it after the speech. Now, look, you got to give the NRA credit for one thing. They got some balls on them.
Yep.
I mean, they are brazen.
Their balls have a Full Metal Jacket, actually.
Yeah, which didn't make the list, but was honorable mention.
Yeah, that's actually a very good gun one.
So tell us about the worst kind of filth pornography.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna tell you the names. I looked up the possibility that these were all Bollywood films or maybe a product of French or Chinese cinema, but no, they come from Hollywood. So the number one is Red Dawn. I don't know if that's the reboot or the original. I'm not actually familiar with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing that they all get off on. Like, oh, we're in the woods, man.
Yeah.
We're fighting back against the commies. We got 'em, man. Yeah, pornography.
Number two, that's the Terminator. I hope they meant Terminator 2 because Terminator 1, meh.
Okay.
Not that great.
No. I love this. Because this is the same organization. That's the unbelievable one. Same organization. Their head just came out and was like, can you believe the violence? They shoot people to death. By the way, our second favorite movie of all time, called The Terminator.
Yeah.
The Terminator. Okay.
Yeah, but again, Terminator 2. That thing with the shotgun is way more badass than anything in Terminator. So you got, what I like about this is things like the Alamo are on there, the original Godfather. That implies to me that the people who put together this list on average are about 65 or 70 years old. But you also have some odd ones in there, like Zombieland.
Yeah, that is weird.
That had a couple guns in it, but it's not a gun film.
I think that was them trying to reach out to younger
people.
Yeah. And they're like, I don't know,
So
put a zombie movie in
Superbad
there,
or something. Now, The Matrix, obviously, that is actually one of the best gun films there. They don't have Equilibrium or anything like that, unfortunately, but I do like the inclusion of Tremors because that's one of my all-time favorite movies, and it does have some guns in it. So.
Okay, fascinating. Never even heard of Tremors. Okay, okay, outrage. Finally, I love also that they're like, can you believe they shoot people and they die? I can't believe Hollywood makes this kind of filth. Number 4 on the list, Die Hard.
Yeah. And also, just in case you might think, well, look, they like these movies, they have guns, but it's not violence that they're glorifying here. Let's talk to let's get a message from the magazine's associate online shooting editor, Paul Rackley. He says, who has not dreamed of having the power and respect of Michael Corleone? That he built his empire through violence is only that much more alluring. He wrote this entire segment for us. Thank you very much, Paul Rackley.
Okay, not only is he specifically glorifying violence, but he almost turns it into pornography. How alluring is that violence? Die harder.
And now I'm uncomfortable.